Hello everyone, welcome back to the Netbeans e-commerce tutorial series. Today I will present Unit 3, Setting up the Develop Environment. The purpose for this series is to help my students to understand how to use Netbeans IDE to build an e-commerce application. All the materials in this presentation come from Netbeans.org website. Today we will finish 3 tasks. First, we will create a web project. Then we will run this web project. Finally, we will learn how to communicate with the database server. We assume that the Netbeans IDE has been successfully installed in your computer. I will use version 8.0.2. This version may be slightly different from the version used in the online tutorial on the website of Netbeans.org. I will use Glassfish server. It has been successfully installed in your computer. I will use version 4.1. I will use my SQL server with version 5.6.22. I assume that this server has been successfully installed in your computer. Okay, let's start our first task. The first task is creating a web project. We will do the following steps. First, open IDE, then create a web project, then create index.jsp file, then examine the components in the IDE, include the editor, project window, file window, navigator, task window, service window, output window, palette. Okay, let me switch to the Netbeans IDE. Okay, from here, to create a project, we first you can create a file, new project, or you can just go here, new project. Okay, we will choose Java web application, then click on next. Now, let's name the project called Football Bean. That's the project name, and it will be in the default Netbeans project folder. You can change this location, but I suggest you just leave at this location now. Then next, we will use the Glassfish server, Java EE7 web context path. Just leave it like this. Then click next. Now, we don't select any framework yet. We just click finish so far. If you expand here, you will see this project window here. Now, this is the HTML file. If you expand this web page, you see yours is index.html. Depending on the version of your Netbeans IDE, my version created index.html. I want a JSP file. So what I'm going to do, I place my mouse on the index.html, right click it, then I click on delete, choose the delete. So I delete this file. Are you sure you want to delete index.html? Yes, I click on yes. Okay, now then I place my mouse on the web pages, make sure it's here, this folder. Then I can right click, then new JSP, which I want a new JSP file. Or you can do this way. You can say click here, add new files. Okay, or you just use Command N. That's a new file. This new file, I want to use web JSP page. I want a JSP page file. Okay. So I probably just choose JSP file. Then I click on next. Then the file name is new JSP. I will change it to index.jsp. and it's a project belong to a football bin, and the location is web pages, which is this folder. Make sure do not put in the web-inf. Do not put it here. Put on the web pages. Okay. Now option is GSP standard syntax. Choose this option and leave everything as it is. Then you click on finish. Now you notice that GSP file has been created. Now we finish the first step, create a project. Then we will investigate this Netbeans IDE. Now currently we're in the editor, right? Then we will see what is the project window. This is the project window. Now, if you are not in this project window, to reach this project window, you can just use Control 1, or in Mac computer like me, use Mac computer as a Command 1. Then will take me back to this project window. Then there is a file window. File window, you can click here, or you just use Command 2. Go to the file window. You can expand, see all these files. Then you can use Command 7. Will give you the navigator window here. Then if you use Command 6, will give you the task window, which is here. Then if you choose Command 5, that will go to the servers window. You can see all the server is here. You will use Glassfish server. Look. Then if you click on Control 4, Command 4 in the Mac computer, we'll see the output window. Okay. Then finally, if you use Command Shift 8, will show you the palette. Okay. Now we finished the first task, create a web project and investigate Netbeans windows. Now let's switch back to our PowerPoint presentation, and we'll say we just finished all those. Open IDE, create a web project, create index.jsp file, then examine the components in the IDE, or this editor, project, window, file, window, navigator, window, task, window, servers, window, output, window, palette. Now let's see. Next step, we will run the web project. We will know how to run the web project, understand what is going on when run the button is pressed, and know how to create a WAR file. Okay, let's switch back to Netbeans IDE. Let's run the project. Before that, you might want to set up the default browser for your project in the browser you want to use. I will use Firefox. Then you click on this button to run the project. Okay, this is Hello World displayed in the Firefox, which is the one you choose to use. Now, let's go back to Netbeans IDE to investigate more. Okay, let's see what happened. First, you might want to open the file window. You can click on here, or you use Command 2. Then you will see there is a build.xml. Click on the build.xml here. If you want to see the navigator window, you probably want Control 7. Yeah, navigator. Then you go down to here, you will see there is a run option. You click on run. Then the build-impl.xml file show up. This file, I think, is in this folder. It's here. Okay, show up. If you look at this file, you will see the target depends on run, deploy, run, display browser. This is deploy to the server and show in the browser name equal run. That is what happens when you click on this debug button. That actually they will deploy your project to the server and show your project result in the browser. Okay. Now, both of those targets in turn depend on other targets, which you can examine elsewhere in the build impl.xml file. But essentially, the following actions take place when run target is invoked. First, the project gets compiled. Then the WAR file is created. WAR stands for Web Application Archive. Then the server start if it's not already running. If it's not started yet, it takes for a while for the server start. Then the WAR file gets deployed to the designated server. Then the browser opens to display the server's URL and application context path. But we don't need to worry. If you use this IDE, they handle all those for you. That's one of the benefits for use this IDE, right? Okay. Now, if you want to generate a distributable WAR file for your project, you can click on the Run, then choose Clean and Build the project. Now, you say there is a new folder created for distribution. Then you see your affordable.war file is created. Of course, you can always clean up this. Pay attention to these two folders. You have a build folder, you have a distribute folder. If you go to the project, you right click. Right click, there is clean. If you clean it, all those two folders were gone. You look, there is no more build folder, no more distribution folder. But if you can say clean and build the project, if you run first, then you see the build folder is there. You see the build folder. Then if you go to the project, then you choose clean and build the project. Then you will say distribution folder is here again, and your project WAR file has been created. Okay? So this is finished the second task, run the project, and we learned how to create a WAR file for your project. Now the last task is communicating with the database. So first, we did assume you already installed MySQL server on your computer successfully. Okay. Now let us say what we will do. We will first check if MySQL server is running. Then we will start. If it started running, we need to start the database server first. Then we learn how to change the password, and then we need to register the server in the IDE. Then we will create a affordable database instance. Okay. Now let us switch back to the terminal window. In this terminal window, here is what we will do. We first need to check if your MySQL is running. So I say MySQL and the mean pin. Now mine is running. MySQL survive. How about if it's not running? What do you need to do? You need to start it. Now, in order to show you that, at first let me stop it. Sudo user local MySQL support files MySQL.server stop. When I want to stop, he asked me enter the password is the system's as an administrator of this computer, the password. So now he can shut down MySQL server. After shut down, then if I repeat the command MySQL admin pin, they will say, connected to server at localhost field. So we cannot do it. So we need to make the server run. Okay. Now, in order to make the server run, I type sudo /usr/local/mysql/support files/mysql server, then type on start. Okay. Then start it successfully. Now, if I repeat MySQL pin, then the MySQL is alive. Okay. Now, if I want to change the password, I will do this: MySQL -u root -p. Give the password, current password. I did type in my current password. Now, then you go to the MySQL. You want to change it to new password. You update MySQL dot use set password equal password Netbeans user where user equal root. Now, you changed it successfully. Then you flush. Okay. So now everything okay. You change your root password to MB user. Now pay attention here. I think if you did not set the root password yet, probably here MySQL -u root, you do not need to use -p. I'm not sure because I cannot test it now. You can check out this. Okay, if you don't have original root password. If it still doesn't work, one thing you can do is you uninstall your MySQL server, then reinstall it, follow the steps. At a certain point, he will ask you, the installer will ask you to set up the root password. Then you set up the password there. Okay? Okay. Now let us quit here, then switch back to our Netbeans IDE. Now I remember I just make my SQL server run, right? Now I need to register the MySQL server in my IDE. What I'm going to do is I will click on the servers. Then in the database, I right click as this database load, then say register MySQL server. Then I do that. Then you need to type in the correct root password. I just typed in MB user, then I click on OK. Look at the local host. The port number is 3306. Username is root. The password we just changed to MB user. Okay, now you say it is. You do have this. Okay. Now after this, I want to create a database instance. Let us invest the driver first. You say the driver, you do have MySQL connector, right? You do have this. Okay. Now I need to create a database. In order to create a database, connect with the MySQL server first. Okay. Then now you say it's connected. After connected, you right click here, you can create a database. Now this new database name, you can type as bin. And grant full access to root at localhost. Then you click on OK. Now once you click on OK, you see here it's connected. Okay. At this stage, you have connected the MySQL server from the IDE and have created a new database named bin. If you want to see, it's here. okay, which you will use throughout this tutorial. Also, you have created a Java web project in the IDE and have confirmed that it can be successfully built and deployed to your development server and open in a browser when run. Now that your deployment environment is ready, you can begin draft the application's data model, which is the next one. So this is the end of Unit 3. The next is Unit 4, Design the Data Model. Again, all the materials in this tutorial come from Netbeans.org website. If you have any questions, please give me an email. Goodbye.